Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we're going to talk about some TV shows, and I wanted to get back to the series that I had started a little bit. It's something that I put on here kind of sporadically. I don't really have a schedule. I just talk about it every so often, but I really enjoy it when I do it, and it gets me to watch some shows that are just sitting on my DVR right now, just collecting dust because I'm not really getting to them. So it's a good push for me to get them into the front of my mind and to start actually watching them. So back in March, I posted a video about a TV show binge that I wanted to do. And it was the second round that I did it. I did it the year before, I think, as well, where I just talked about some shows that I wanted to binge. And I kind of made a little bit of a commitment to do those and share my thoughts with you guys. And I wanted to do a bit of a follow-up for the round 2 that I did back in March for the shows that I actually watched and binged. And then at the end of this one, I'm going to go into round 3 and tell you what I'm going to be watching for the next probably 2 or 3 months. And I'll kind of have a month where I'm going to post a follow-up again and maybe do a round 4. It's just a good way for me to start thinking about watching some of these TV shows. And I just really like it. I love TV shows. There's just such a great escape from everything, and they're so entertaining. And when I find a really good one I like, I just want to do nothing but watch it. And it's an excuse to do it. Back in March, I talked about 5 TV shows that I wanted to binge watch, and of the 5, I actually did watch 4 of them, so I will talk about those. The only one I did not get to was The Handmaid's Tale, and I still haven't watched that one yet. But the other 4 that I talked about, I did. The first one was a limited time series, and it was on the Paramount channel, and it was called Waco. And this show was only 6 episodes long, and it was just a little mini series about the events that happened in Waco, Texas with David Koresh, and he was kind of the leader of a little bit of a cult. He had a following of people who they all lived in the same compound, and he considered himself a religious leader. And it went really, really wrong when the government tried to intervene and get the people out because they believed that their safety was in danger, and it went really, really wrong. I remember seeing these things happening on TV when I was young, and so that was a little bit crazy to see all that stuff, you know, kind of being played out when I had seen some of it being played out on television and on the news and stuff. And it was very interesting. It was also interesting to see it from both sides, because you get the side from David and his people, and then you also get the side from the FBI and what happened there. So very, very interesting, and just the way things played out were crazy. Taylor Kitsch plays David Koresh, and he was fantastic. I'm a huge fan of his anyway, and just seeing him play this role so beautifully was just really good. And it was so good. If he doesn't win an Emmy, I don't know what's gonna happen, but he was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It was a great miniseries, nice and short. You get through it, you get the entire story, you don't know what's gonna happen. I binge watched it in one day. I watched all 6 episodes just back to back to back. I could not stop, and it was fantastic. The second show I talked about is Lucifer, and I needed to watch season 3, which I did, and I loved it. I was really, really sad when the network canceled Lucifer at the end of the 3rd season. Really sad about it. So we went into the season finale thinking it was the series finale because it hadn't been renewed. They canceled it, no one had picked it up, and the way it left off, I was like, are you kidding me? I was really mad that that's how it was gonna be forced to end because the network didn't pick it back up, and they didn't plan for that. That wasn't in the cards. They didn't think they were in danger of it. Luckily, Netflix pulled through, and Netflix is going to show a season 4 of Lucifer. I don't know if it's just going to be 1 season or if they're going to continue it or not. It might depend on how the ratings are for season 4, but definitely season 4 is coming on Netflix, and I'm so excited because just the way they ended it, I need more, and I just love this show. It's such a guilty pleasure show for me. I just think it's hilarious. I love the interactions between everybody, and the, you know, sexual tension is really good between the 2 main characters, and I'm really happy it's coming back. And another show that I binge watched was Fear the Walking Dead, and I believe it was season 3. Yeah, the first part of season 3. The second part of season 3 is coming back like this month, I think. And I was on the fence about this one. I was giving this one season 3 to see if I wanted to continue watching it, because I found myself getting a little bit bored, a little bit not caring about the characters. I'm not a big fan of the main character, Madison. And I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if this is going to take it in a way that I'm going to be interested anymore. I'm interested again, for sure. This season, the first part of the season brought me back. I was on board. I was really excited. It was very exciting. Things happened to my Nick. Nick is my favorite character. Things happened to him. It was an emotional roller coaster. Things happened that shocked me. I didn't see a lot of things coming, which is what I love. And yeah, I'm in it. I'm in Fear the Walking Dead. I'm totally into it, and I'm really excited for it to come back. I'm pretty positive it comes back later this month to finish out the season. So I will be here for that, and I'm really excited about it. The next one I watched was another miniseries, so it was only 6 episodes long, and that's The Night Manager. And this one is based off of a book, I believe, by John le Carre, I think. And I think he is the one who wrote, was it Jason Bourne, maybe? He might have, no, I don't know. He wrote some sort of like spy or like mystery, big time mystery series. I just can't remember which one off the top of my head. So if you guys know, let me know the series that John le Carre wrote. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But I enjoyed this one. It wasn't as thrilling as I thought it was going to be. This one stars Tom Middleton and Hugh Laurie. He's the one who played House in that show. And it was definitely a revenge story, and lots of undercover stuff happens. It was very, very action-packed and pretty violent, actually. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. It was just a little bit slower than I kind of wanted as far as the main storyline goes. And yeah, but there were some twists, definitely some twists in there. I didn't love the romance that was in it. I was kind of like, oh, really? But it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. I just think it was good entertainment. It wasn't amazing, fantastic, blew my mind or anything, but I enjoyed it. And again, I did not get to The Handmaid's Tale, so I still have not watched that one. All right, so that's my follow-up for the round 2 of TV binging that I did. Now I'm going to do a round 3. So I think I'm going to probably give myself, since we're in August now, so maybe August, September, October, maybe sometime in November, I will do a follow-up. So that would give me like around 4 months or so to binge watch the rest of these shows. And this time I went with a kind of specific guideline. There have been some shows that got canceled. Like this past season of shows and, you know, renewing and canceling and all that was pretty brutal. There was a lot of shows that got canceled, and it was just like, oh my gosh, so many things that I have really enjoyed. So it was a little bit disappointing for me. I'm like, oh, okay. Some things got canceled that I haven't even started watching yet, and I have to decide now if I even want to bother, because I know it's going to end. So I don't know, we'll see. But this time I have a few shows on my DVR that have either been canceled or they have just ended. Like the show has ended and it was a planned thing. It wasn't canceled. They just decided to stop the show and finish it up. And I wanted to go ahead and watch those and get them off my DVR, because then they're done. Nothing else will, you know, be recording from that, and I can kind of finish up all these storylines. So I have 4 that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to work on binge watching all of these seasons and, you know, finishing up all these finales. The first one I'm going to talk about is Designated Survivor, and this one was canceled unexpectedly. I was really shocked that it was canceled because I loved the first season. I could not get enough of it. I watched it really quickly, and I have season 2 on my DVR, which is 22 episodes, and I haven't watched any of them yet. And it got canceled. So there will not be a season 3. Season 2 is going to be the finale. I hope that it ties up nicely and that I'm not left kind of hanging. I'm not sure. I haven't really heard any feedback from it so far, but it's a show I really like, and this is a show that is Kiefer Sutherland, and in the series premiere, he is a congressman, and he is considered a designated survivor, which is something that they have actually. And it's whenever there is like a State of the Union address or something where like almost everybody politically is gathered in one place, they have someone who is a designated survivor. That way, if anything happens, there is somebody who can step in and take over if they need to, and they are in the system and they are an elected official. And he is a designated survivor during, I believe, the State of the Union address. He's watching it from a very secure location. Nobody knows where it is. And there's an attack on the Capitol and everybody is killed. Everybody. And he's the only one left. So he becomes the president. And things happen and riots, and you know, the American people don't really know what to do or say or think, and a lot of them don't even know who this guy is. So he is trying to build a cabinet, he's trying to run a country, he's trying to deal with very hostile situations because there was an attack on our soil, and trying to figure out who even did it. They didn't even know who did it. So it was really good, really good. I was just really surprised that it got canceled after season 2. So I want to watch season 2 and see what happens and see how things tie up. But the first season had so many twists and turns and really great characters, and I love Kiefer Sutherland. So definitely excited to watch that one. The next one is a show that ended, and it didn't get canceled, but the show creators decided this is going to be the last season, and that is Scandal. And this is season number 6. I have 16 episodes to watch. I have watched the first 2 of the last season, so I do need to watch 16 more. And this one I was on the fence about whether or not I even wanted to watch the last season. I had kind of gotten a little bit bored of it. I felt like it was just the same thing over and over. And then I was like, well, there's only one more season, and I've watched all of them. So I have not been excited because, you know, the president is no longer the president, and he was one of the main reasons I watched it, because I love him and I love their chemistry together and all the drama that happens because of that. And I was afraid of it getting away from so much of that, and I didn't know where they were going to take it, and I just wasn't confident in having more storylines that were going to keep me interested. I watched the first episode and didn't love it, and I just was a little bit nervous about it. But then I watched the second episode and said, okay, let me watch a couple more and see if I'm interested still. By the end of the second episode, I was like, there's President Grant, I'm in. So I'm in. I'm gonna watch the last season, finish it out, see how it goes. And yeah, so I have 16 episodes to watch, but I am now like reinvested in it. So this show is about, actually it's based on a real person from what I'm understanding. It's based on somebody who works in Washington, and she's kind of considered a fixer. So she will help powerful people in Washington fix their problems. And we're talking like prostitutes and escorts and murder and accidental deaths that happen at your hand that you had no control of, and you know, just scandal after scandal after scandal, which is why it's called Scandal. The main character also has an affair with the married president. There's a whole history about how all that started, and it continues into his presidency, and it's a whole thing, and it's amazing. So I really, you know, started out just enjoying it so much, and then kind of like season 4 and 5, I was kind of like starting to get same old. I was honestly getting a little bit bored, but yeah. So I'm excited to get back to it now that I kind of see a little bit of a direction and where it's going, and I'm just like, okay, I'm in. I will watch the last season and finish it up. The next one is also a show that the show creators decided this is the last season. It's a shorter season, and that is New Girl. And I was really bummed that this one isn't coming back because I love this show. I love Schmidt so much. This show is so quotable. There's so many great quotes that come from this show. It makes me laugh so much. I have actually been watching this show and had to pause it because I was laughing so hard. I had to take a minute, and I'm excited to watch the last of it. I'm gonna be sad, but it is only 8 episodes, and they're only half-hour episodes, so it'll go really quickly for me. And yeah, but I'm gonna miss it. I love this show. This one is a show that is based on a girl who ends up moving into an apartment with 3 strangers and they're all men, and she's just one girl, but she needed a place to stay. She was in a really rough situation and she ends up moving in with them, and they are all roommates, and it is hilarious. They are all so quirky and so funny, and you know, lots of drama obviously happens, and they kind of do spoof drama too. Like, it's just sometimes it's way over the top and they know it and they're owning it. And yeah, so I've really loved the show from the beginning. I'm really excited to get back to it and to finish it out and see what's going to happen with these characters. And again, Schmidt, I can't wait for more of him. And the last one is The Americans, and this is one that I have 2 seasons to watch. I need to watch season 5 and season 6, so I do have 24 episodes to watch, which, okay, I can do that. And this is a show that is very much a slow burn. It's not super action packed. It's a little mellow, a little bit slower, and it's funny because it's kind of, you watch an episode but nothing really happens, but so much happens. It's all in like the dialogue, and you know, they do a lot of surveillance and do a lot of stuff. It's very interesting. I really enjoyed everything that I've seen of that show so far, and I'm excited to get back to it. So this show is set in the 1980s, and it is actually based on Russian spies infiltrating the US and posing as Americans, and you see them doing like undercover work and spying and, you know, sending information back to Russia, and all this stuff happened in the 80s. Like, this stuff was actually happening. So this is kind of based on that timeline. So you're seeing all the 80s cultures, you know, happening and all that. And I believe this was when Ronald Reagan was president. So there's lots of references to him and stuff. And I really enjoyed it, So it's a couple that are married, and you know, they're obviously Russian and posing as Americans, and they have 2 kids, and you know, everything's all supposed to be that way. So you kind of see them doing their jobs, but also getting a little bit lost in their relationship, because they're not supposed to be normal husband and wife. They're supposed to be there for the job and that's it. But obviously you marry somebody and things are going to happen, and you know, feelings are going to start coming into play, and it's very interesting. I've really enjoyed it. Again, I have 2 seasons to watch, so I'm excited to finish that up and, you know, kind of get back to that one, but it's a good one. All right, guys, that is it. Those are some shows that I am going to be planning to binge watch over the next couple of months, and I am excited to finish them up and see how they're going to play out and see how they're going to wrap up. I am really interested to see how a lot of these things are going to be happening. So let me know down below if you guys have watched any of these and what your thoughts were on them, and let me know if you guys have any shows coming up that you're planning to watch or binge watch, or if there's any shows that you've given up on, because some of these have been a little bit not sure for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick it out and stick to it. All right, let me know all that information down below, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.